Hello everyone on YouTube, this is Jordan here again, and in this video we're going to take a look at something really special I got this week. This is another visually impairment aid, so let me just remove my Mac keyboard out of the way. Apologies for if you can't see the camera, because as you know I am visually impaired, but I'll describe it to you. This is a clock. It's no ordinary clock, it's a talking clock. It is referred to as the commuter clock. And this is an extremely unique clock. Want to know why? This clock is radio controlled. It's a bit like the LifeMax talking watch, which is also radio controlled. Only thing about the clock is that once the time goes wrong, or you've just put new batteries in it, it will go out and start looking for a signal immediately. You don't have to wait 3 hours like you do with the watch. So, in this video I'm going to show you all the things this clock can do. So, the first thing I'm going to show you is the top of the clock. So all you can see at the top of this, all you can see at the top is a big black button. When you press it, it will tell you the time.
The time is 6:07 p.m.
Sound right.
Let me put it down. Be much easier then. Then I've got my focus on the clock. That way voiceover isn't speaking over everything. If you hold the button down, it will tell you the date.
The time is 6:07 p.m. The date is 13 June 2020, Saturday.
So you get both the time and the date just from pressing this single button. There are some buttons at the back if I turn the clock over. So we have the set button. Oh no, this is the mode button and the set button. So if I press the set button now,
alarm on 9:00 a.m.
It will give me the alarm status and the sound and the time that the alarm is set for too. So let's go ahead and change some settings on the clock. Of course we're not going to change all of them because believe me, we don't want to mess this clock up. Also I should mention that this clock is only available in the UK by the way via the RNIB. Right, let's go to the first setting of the commuter clock then, shall we?
Announce on.
Announcement on, or announce on. This announce is basically the clock's hourly report, so it turns on and off your hourly chime. So you can toggle that on and off by pressing the set button.
Announce off. Announce on.
And let's move. That's all it does really. So whenever it turns 9 o'clock or so, the clock will let you know it's 9 o'clock now. So let's move on to the next option.
Alarm on.
So this is for turning the alarm on and off. The same as turning on the hourly chime. All you've got to do is press the set button to toggle on and off the alarm.
Alarm off. Alarm on.
Next section.
Alarm hour 9.
So this allows you to set the hour of the alarm. So this is for, now we run to the real setting. So in this particular instance we're setting the alarm. So only the hour is focused, so you press the set button to toggle between the possible hours. Well, all the hours of course.
Hour 10, hour 11, hour 12, hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, hour 4, hour 5, hour 6, hour 7, hour 8, hour 9.
So of course I'm pressing the set button to change the hours. Let's move on.
Alarm minute 0.
And now we're setting the minute. So again, the same button I used to change the hour can be used to change the minute as well. Let's move on to the next one.
Alarm AM.
This clock is extremely unique in that also you can toggle AM or PM. And I think it's easy that way.
Alarm PM. Alarm AM.
So let's say you want to set the alarm for 7 o'clock in the evening. You go and set the alarm hour to 7, but wait, there's more. It's at 8 a.m, so you'll have to toggle it. You'll have to go into this option to toggle between AM and PM.
Alarm PM, alarm AM.
So pretty much the set button is used for setting the alarm to AM and PM as well. Let's move on to the next option.
Alarm.
This is extremely awesome. You get to choose which sound your alarm has. I think there's like 5 of these. So
Alarm.
I'm going to go through all of them this time, starting with this one.
Alarm.
That one is the factory default sound that you get when you first unbox the clock. Next one.
Alarm.
That sounds kind of like a horn. Next one.
Alarm.
Sounds like one of those twin bell clocks. Alarm 4.
Alarm.
And that is, I personally use that as my alarm. It's loud enough, and it really gets you out of the way. It really wakes you up.
Alarm.
And then we've got the cuckoo. I'm going to go put it back on.
Alarm. Alarm. Alarm.
I'm going to put it back on the sound that I use for now. And we're going to move on to the next option.
Clock. Hour. 6.
Now we're on to the setting of the time, and it's pretty much the same layout. It's pretty much the same as setting the alarm time. So we've got clock hour to be 6.
Clock. Minute. 12.
So again, it's setting the minute as well. Again, the same instructions for setting the alarm applies here.
Clock. PM.
So again, you can toggle between AM and PM, like you can with these options.
Year 2020.
Now we're into the date setting, so you can manually set the date on this clock. So we're starting with the year. The year goes up to 2099 on the calendar. Again, it's simple. I think I don't have to tell you at this point. It's pretty much simple how to change certain values. Month is next.
June.
So again, we're in June, and then the day.
Day 13.
And
The time is 6:13 p.m. The date is 13 June 2020, Saturday.
so the clock is back in its normal mode, in its normal time announcement mode. Like I said, if you wanna check certain things, like whether your chime is on, the only way you can check your hourly report is by going into that menu. Oh, and in case anyone wants to order these clocks
Sound right.
if anyone wants to order these clocks overseas, forget it. You won't be able to order these. This clock will only sync with the UK atomic clock.
Sound right.
So it'll only work with the UK's atomic clock. So if you get one of these clocks, you'll have to set the time manually. You can't rely on the radio signal. And that's the topic I want to go over next. For anyone, when you first get the clock, it will be at the wrong time, so you may want it to set itself. Leave it somewhere where it can get enough sunlight, or where it can get a radio signal, preferably on a windowsill. Because having it near your computer will disrupt the radio waves, thus the clock's not going to get a signal when it wants it. If the signal is the strongest when it's at night, so I suggest leaving the clock alone for 5 minutes and then coming back. It should hopefully correct the time. And you don't need to worry about daylight saving time, as the clock is going to adjust accordingly. And as I said before, you can only get these through the RNIB, I think. Don't know if they still sell these now, but they are popular clocks, so it's worth investing. If you're someone who's visually impaired, then it's worth investing, as these clocks were made with the blind in mind. I appreciate all the work the RNIB I appreciate all the work the RNIB do to cater for us blind, for the blind people like myself. And just being given the opportunity to own 2 of their products. I mean, the watch I'm wearing now is also an RNIB watch made by LifeMax as well, with the assistance of RNIB. And this Communer clock here. I mean, if anything, I can definitely recommend this clock. Oh, by the way, there's a volume button down at the bottom, so you can turn up and down the clock. So, what are my overall thoughts of the Communer clock then? 1, this clock is very good for travelling with. It can fit in any suitcase and it's perfectly light, perfectly portable. It takes 4 AA batteries and you can plug it in optionally as well. So this is perfect for travelling overseas because you can just set the time manually. You can just set the time manually. Like I said, you can't get this clock or the watch I'm wearing anywhere else but the UK by any other means. You're best off looking on eBay if you want to buy a Communer clock and you're not in the UK. It's the same with this LifeMax watch. So now we're going to compare. I'm now going to finish the video by comparing the clock and the watch in what it can do. Basically, I highly recommend the clock because it's really fast when you change the time. This watch is not digital, so it's analog as well as a talking watch because you've got hands as well. This clock doesn't have a display, I don't think. No, it won't do. But not that it really matters anyway. I'll just take you, if you can see it, I'll just take you on a little tour of the clock.
The time is 6:17 p.m.
And again, that was my review of the Communer clock. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Jordan signing off saying have a good day everyone.
Stop recording video.